That's my tea of the day, kind of, is just so much new music got released in the past week. I'm really excited for today's stream because I am going to have Shinova over on here as a guest, and she's a really, really cool artist, and she streams on Twitch a lot, and I'm actually going to have her come on here and talk about streaming as a musical artist because I feel like she has that down. She has such a great style and look. She's just all around a super creative and cool artist, so I'm excited to have her on today. What am I drinking? I was just about to get to that. You called me out. This is my Twinings, just like mint green tea. It's super simple, but my stomach kind of felt upset, so got the mint to calm it down. If you guys haven't heard Kehlani, I don't know if you listen to her. She's amazing. Her new album just came out. It is called It Was Good Until It Wasn't, and let me tell you, that album is good. There's no it doesn't stop being good. It's just good all the way through. So huge fan of that. My last tea of the day, I kind of want to get to the guest. I'm just super excited to talk with her. So proud of me. Thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, so the only tea of the day I'm going to discuss, I was on Twitter this morning and I just saw so much about robot influencers. How do you guys feel about that? Have you guys heard about that at all? Robot influencers, and they make music and stuff, and I don't even know if they're robots. I think they're just AI. I'm eating toast, so you're good. Yes, at least I'm not the only one who starts, classifies breakfast as 11 to 1. It's musician life. But yeah, robot influencers or AI influencers, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I'm not really sure. I feel like they don't physically exist, but I'm pretty sure they perform. I'm all around just super confused about how I'm waving to everyone, how AI works, especially with these influencers. And one of them was super controversial because it talked about its sexual assault story, and it was you're not real. So that's actually, I was on Kehlani's page. That's how I found out about this AI influencers, because she was like, this is ridiculous. You can't even talk about this. So yeah, I guess my stance on AI musicians and influencers is it sounds like a Black Mirror episode, so I don't know why we would ever do anything that sounds like a Black Mirror episode. You know what I mean? If a company's putting something together and they're like, oh, this would be a great Black Mirror episode, don't do it. Just don't do it. None of those episodes ever turned out good. You know what I mean? So all around, not my favorite. But that's my tea of the day. I'm drinking mint tea of the day, and now I'm gonna have Shinova come on and talk about streaming while I stream.
Hello.
Good morning. What is on your coffee? You.
It's gold.
Yes.
Everybody always comments on this, and I'm like, yeah, it's genius until you want to put it in the microwave and it explodes. Because it's metal. There's pieces of metal in it or something. I don't know.
I had pieces of metal in it, and I tried to reheat it, and my whole microwave was fire. And yeah, so.
Wait, what was it?
A Sonic cup. Yeah.
I heard that they're putting something in it. Maybe it's the styrofoam. I don't think you can put styrofoam in the microwave.
Well, I'll never put any Sonic on.
No, Burger King, fine. Sonic, no.
What you doing?
I'm doing good today, thank you. Just shoving toast in my mouth really fast. I didn't know I was going to be on the whole hour. I didn't know that I was going to be the only guest, because on my show, on my Boss Pod, I usually have 2 or 3 guests. So I wasn't expecting to be the star of the show with you today, but pleasant surprise.
Well, good. I probably should have been more informative.
No, you're good. You're good.
One guess, because I feel like it can go as long as you want it to. I also just never thought about having more than one, to be honest. I like your little boss pod. I love the graphic for it. I think it's just cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was a fan art piece that he sent me, and then I just photoshopped the crap out of it. I cut my head out, and I put that boss pod thing over the eyes, and yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm totally into graphic design, but when you're given an art piece like that and you can kind of run with it and make your own creative twist on it, it's really easy when there's talented people making cool art,
Art, class. I like graphic design too. I feel like you can do really. You have a song out on the 15th, right?
I do. Thanks for the plug. Yes, that's on, I guess, less than a week now. That'll be midnight Thursday, so like technically Friday. Yeah, and it's called By Myself, and it's kind of an ironic thing. There's like so many things that are like parallel in the world happening with this song right now, because it's called By Myself, and we're in a state of quarantine right now. We're all by ourselves, so that's kind of a weird parallel. And I've had this song longer than quarantine existed, so that's a happy accident. And then I also produced it myself. This is my first release that I produced fully myself. So just parallel on top of parallel with this one.
I like that. It just works out. Sometimes things just work out. That's awesome. I'm excited to hear it. What's it?
Yeah. And I'm working on the visual for it right now, making some video, and it'll be out a little after as well. But yeah.
Yeah, so your videos are always really cool. I feel like you just have like a cool aesthetic all around. Like you just look like all pink all around right now.
I know, I'm just like pink, purple, and I got a little green back there to kind of mix it up a bit.
So I just literally moved the tree from a corner, and I was like, this looks like I'm put together.
Yes, no, I don't know what it is about foliage, but it just instantly makes you look legit and together, totally.
I was like, middle of the room now. Okay. I'd hate to see like a third person just walk in. You just see like a tree in the middle and like.
I found it funny what you were saying about the Black Mirror stuff, that like AI pop artists is, yeah, if it's anything remotely close to a plot of I love that of Black Mirror. Don't do it. Cause yeah, like I saw that one girl. I don't know if you've looked into specific AI artists, but there's that one girl. She's got lots of freckles and she's got the short bangs, the brown hair. That's the one you're talking about. Okay, so my take on that's a little different. Like my first gut instinct was like, this is so messed up. There's so many amazing, talented artists out there that don't ever see the light of day, that are hustling so hard and never get seen. Why does this computer get to come around and just like take a spot in the industry? And then I thought about it more and I looked into it a little more, and there are real singers, sometimes different, singing the songs for her, and there's writers, and it's like ghostwriting in a way, you know? So it's not that there's not real people putting themselves into it. It's just in the shell of something that's not real, which, you know, you don't want anybody to get the image standards twisted with that. But as far as the content and the songs themselves, it's still real people making them. And that's why... Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I hadn't thought about it that way, that like there are a lot of actual artists getting a chance through this AI.
Yeah, because they're usually, you know, ghostwriters that, you know, you never get to hear. You're getting to hear them this time because there isn't a singer to sing it for them. So that's kind of cool. And also, as far as, you know, the song about abuse, I find that kind of interesting. I didn't know that. I would say I don't see it as a controversial thing at all, because someone who really went through that wrote the song. Like, you know, it kind of comes back to that.
She like went through like a whole interview and like told her story and like went through the sexual assault and so I don't even think it's a song. I think she just like made a video about her story with sexual assault.
Oh, I see. The AI chick. Okay, so it wasn't a song. I see. Interesting. Well, maybe there's good people behind it wanting to put that message out into the world, but still, I get where it's kind of weird. It's kind of freaky.
But it's real, like, yeah, probably just raising awareness. So it sounds like they're trying to do cool things with her. I mean, she automatically had an audience. They're just like, yeah, she's AI and she's a pop artist. Follow her, and it worked out.
I didn't know she wasn't real for a second. She had one of the videos. I was like, this girl cute as hell. I love her hair. I want those bangs. And then I was like, wait a second, when she moves her face, it doesn't look real. And then it all hit me. I was like, dun, 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 Black Mirror episode.
So she posted a picture with the singer. Check out her music. I clicked the page and I was like, this looks weird. And I scrolled for so long before I realized she wasn't real at all. I'm like, oh, do this.
Yeah, I don't know how much I want it becoming the future. Like, a couple of them, sure. All of them, no, I'm good.
If I guess just like, I don't understand, because I saw someone say they're performing live, so I'm confused. I'm all around just confused.
Because I think that in Japan, they've had this concept for a while using holograms. They have holographic pop stars there, and huge arenas are filled with people, and it's like this beam of light of a pop star doing choreography, and it's like, and I think they had real backup dancers there, but the artist was fake. It's like, so it's kind of been around for a minute.
Yeah, they're always head of the band. They're doing a lot of cool things performance-wise, always.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, yeah, Black Mirror is not good. See if it becomes a thing. I'd be interested to see one live, I think. I don't know. Would they be perfect? This requires research.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not so sure about it either.
Yeah, so you stream on Twitch often, right? Mm-hmm. So what exactly do you do with your Twitch stream per se? Is it like you performing like acoustically, or is it like studio or sessions, or kind of what is your stream about?
Yeah. So first of all, for anybody that doesn't know what Twitch is, it's a live streaming platform, kind of like just how we are right now live. It's very similar to that. It's just not... There's nothing else on this website. It's just live streamers, and you click their channel and they're live or they're not. And Twitch has been a predominantly gamer-based platform. Guys streaming their Fortnite games and all that stuff, which I wasn't ever into, but my brother was. So in the background of my life, I kind of did know about the world. But never got into it myself. So I happened upon it super randomly and organically. My ex-boyfriend thought that I would kill it. And at first my initial feeling was like, me in my bedroom in front of a webcam, no. That sounds sketchy. And then on top of it, there's like strangers in the chat giving you money for performing. Like, that's just red flag. And it couldn't be anything farther from those assumptions. There's a really beautiful blossoming music community there. One of the artists that I saw when I first started thinking about it and started considering it, their name is Holocene, and it's this girl, and she's got her boyfriend as a guitar, and they got a drummer, and they're a real life band, but they also stream on Twitch, and they have like multicam, and it's like on a set with gorgeous lighting, and they sound amazing, and she's going through a condenser mic, and it's like perfect, and they're taking requests, and they're singing their originals, and I was like, okay, so this can be legit. So once I saw that there were people, and Scene of Action is like a crazy streamer that he's got like 20 cameras, and it's like moving graphics, and like it's all this crazy-ish. So people are using the streaming in a way that you wouldn't typically think. It's not just... Some people are a little bit more low quality just in front of a camera like this, but you can go crazy, and there's a cool production value that you can play with. But once I found out that it was legit, I started doing music streams. Just set up my keyboard. I had like an iMac at the time, and I just used the webcam in it and streamed me playing acoustically just on piano, just singing, and quickly grew a fan base of like really kind, smart people that wanted to help me get started in the community that didn't even know me, and they were just like, we know Twitch, we can help you figure this stuff out, you know? So just a really supportive place, and the other streamers as well are very supportive. Sorry, when I'm speaking, I can't hear you. I don't mean to not hear you.
got all glitchy though for a second, but I'm glad it's like a good community, because that was actually one of my questions was kind of like when you join there, if you come there with no fan base, is it easy to kind of grow? Kind of sounds like, yeah.
Much more than I'd say, I mean, light years easier than YouTube. You know what that world's like. It's so saturated right now. And I think there is an opportunity, especially in the time that we live in, that people are watching more stuff online. It is a great opportunity to get on this now, because it isn't super hard to organically build if you're consistent and you're streaming good content. And yeah, it's not impossible, because I did it from scratch there.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, I'm also obviously interested in it as well. I'm gonna start.
You'd kill it, girl.
Sick. Thank you. Because I'm like just all around. I have a webcam now. I feel like that's one thing you need. Good to go. Yeah. Software. But I feel like a lot of people don't know what the software you need and like what kind of tools you need. So I guess we could kind of talk on that, because it took me a while to kind of figure that out.
Yeah, so it's not super straightforward, and it can be something that's discouraging for artists. You know, we just want to plug and play and just get to our music. But it is one of those things that it took me, at the high quality that I'm at now, with stream-specific gear and a stream-specific computer that can handle it CPU-wise, it took me a good 7 months to get to where I'm at to have the quality that I want. However, it didn't take me that long to start streaming. You know, I had a webcam in my iMac and like my little interface, and I could still run stuff through, and it was decent. But I did have a lot of lagging issues, a lot of latency, and like between the video and the audio. So it was a huge task. So with this in mind, I made a video on YouTube about how you can like start baseline getting your setup going, so you can kind of get that instant gratification and just get rolling with it. And then along the way, as you're continuing streaming and you know that is for you, you can start building your rig.
That makes sense. Yeah. Sounds like helpful too, which is awesome. That's good to hear.
It sounds like what?
Super helpful on there too, which is good.
Oh yeah. It's
a cool place. Well, that's awesome. Because I know like you can also like build revenue, like a revenue stream on there, which is something that I think definitely makes all artists we should consider, especially since we can't play shows right now. So kind of like, what is the process like with the tipping? They can just tip you right on your stream, right?
Correct. So with Twitch, which is why I decided on Twitch instead of other streaming platforms, is because there's multiple streams of income that you can make on there. There's bits, which is like gifts that, you know, equate to a certain amount of money. There's tipping, donating, of course, that goes through PayPal, that goes straight to you right away. And then anybody who subs to your channel pays $5 a month to be a subscriber. So you get half of that. Twitch takes the other half, unfortunately, but you have 100 subscribers, and that's not bad money. That's $100 or $250 so a month. So that's, yeah, so it's not bad. The main thing is like keeping that up, which goes back to more tips on how you're streaming. But again, with the I'll finish the revenue thing, there is an etiquette to it. Kind of just, there's a tasteful way to do it and like a not so tasteful way to do it, because you are sitting online performing for money. So you have to be careful, because these are your fans. These are people who are supporting you financially, and you don't want to like seem like you expect it, you know? So there's a way to do it, and there's ways to create goals that are around you growing your channel. Like I had recently I had a goal for the 4K camera that I wanted to get for this song music video that I'm doing, and things like that. People want to help you on your journey, though. The whole thing is they want to support you for your career, not just for you to pay rent. I mean, some people are fine with that, but it's like they want to be a part of your music journey. So creating goals that make them feel a part of it is the best way to do it.
Yeah, That definitely makes sense because they don't want to pay your rent. They want to see like more content. It's kind of like Patreon. That whole kind of the whole mentality behind that is they give you money because they want to see you succeed. So
yeah,
little mini investors.
yeah.
So just like it seems like the community on there is so cool, and just getting to like meet people.
Yeah, there's a lot of nerdier, introverted, socially awkward kids there, you know, and they're great people. They're great people, you know, like it's different than YouTube and Instagram where everybody's very public. On Twitch, when people are gaming or streaming or watching other streamers, they're usually just a username. They don't have a profile picture. Like, it's a more introverted type of thing, and you get to know people through chat without seeing who they are and what their life is, you know? So you organically build real connections. I've made true friends there, and I, as an introvert, am so thankful for that because I didn't have many friends in LA here.
Oh, LA is hard too. It's where I'm from. Yeah, that sounds good. I like gaming. I'm an introvert, so it sounds like my place where I want to be, because Instagram can be overwhelming with just like, one, it's so hard to grow on here. Two, just the type of content. I feel like I don't even have to really explain it. It's just like everyone's just like, oh, this is how great my life is. Like, here's the best outfit I've ever worn, like every single day. So I feel like Twitch just has more like valuable content almost.
Yeah, and especially in the music community, there's a lot more substance. Because I have had the same experience. Like, even though I have built on Instagram, it's been through a lot of hustle and over a lot of years. You know, this didn't just like pop up out of nowhere. And I'm not the kind of person that's going to post a bikini picture. It's not really my thing, you know? So I'm not going to blow up on Instagram. So I've had to find other ways. And like you're saying, on Twitch, it's been a good opportunity for me to get some exposure. I mean, that's why I went on tour. I went on tour because I'm fan funded. And I had places to stay because on Twitch, my fans are from all over the world. And I had couches to crash on, you know? So it was a great thing.
That sounds beautiful, yeah, because I'm not going to blow up on Instagram either. There's a certain type of like pictures you can post and it'll work. I can't do them. I've tried and always been like, oh, I don't feel good about that at all.
Yeah.
But you're able to go on tour based off that. So that's all about like, that's what I'm here for. I feel like social media, for me, it's just like more of a tool to get to do music. So if you can just like do music to get to do music, that would be much cooler.
Yeah, and with Instagram, in order to make money, you have to do sponsorships. And what does that mean? You have to make your posts not about your music, but about other people's products. Like, that's something that I've never gone into that world either, because there's got to be something. I really hope that in the future, Instagram and social media in general can move more towards the substance of who people are and what we're really about, rather than companies and products and this whole money run thing. Because I think social media is a beautiful place for content creators to have a platform to share their art. And it's like, why are we creating posts to make money? Why are we creating posts to blow up? Like, we should be creating posts to show people who we are and what our art is really about.
Yes, I 100% agree. And they don't posts that are about, like, they literally, the algorithm, which is a whole nother, I feel like you can have people talk for hours on. Like,
I hate that word.
Me too. The algorithm, it's the A word. It just doesn't favor artists for sure. Because I know we met through Instagram, and there's always, it's just difficult on here, and they don't help you out at all, honestly.
No, and it's like the algorithm, quote unquote, if you want to say that word. I hate that word even came out of my mouth, but if we're going to talk about it, it's always changing anyways. It's not something that can be predictable. And I've heard a lot of YouTubers talk about this too, because YouTube is a very algorithmic based platform as well. And they'll rant and rave about how it's so frustrating because they make their entire livelihood on YouTube solely. that's where they put all their eggs in their baskets for years to build to that. And they don't know. They don't have any guarantee. They don't have any inkling of, projection into the future of what they're going to make next month even. So it's like, it's this very unknown world. And I don't think it should be that vague for people who are devoting their lives to these platforms and keeping people watching these platforms. That's not fair.
I don't really honor those people at all, because especially YouTubers, YouTube is their life, and I feel like if they made one bad video, then all of a sudden their income is just gone, completely gone. I can't imagine living like that. It's stressing me out.
Yeah, and that bothers me too, because like I said with Instagram, they're then creating videos based around sponsorships so that they have a guaranteed pay, or they're making content based around, all right, what's going to be the clickbait of that title? Well, what I really want to do, nobody would click on, so I'm going to have to do this other thing. And it's like, it becomes a mill of just the same kind of stuff, instead of people expressing their own unique new ideas that people wouldn't typically click on because it's a new idea,
I feel like that's what happened to news even, is people write valuable articles, and now it's just what do people want to see? Just give them the same stuff, which is depressing in a way. But
especially with this coronavirus thing, it's just been everything coronavirus and nothing else is talked about. It's
at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that, I understand it's a big topic, but I hope that we can start expanding our minds to other things in the media.
Just need a break from the coronavirus news. We can't depression. I mean, if we got into that, how depression's all the way up, and domestic abuse and addiction and overdoses, and it's maybe if we talked about literally anything else for 30 seconds. Well, honestly.
And so to flip the coin on everything that I just said, you brought up a good point. That I think is a great thing with YouTube and Instagram is influencers who already do have a lot of followers are talking about their experience through this pandemic right now and being I'm in my room creating content right now. I'm getting to know me. I'm taking a break. They're talking about how they're using this pandemic for good. And it's again, we need to put more credit and weight into the people who are putting the content out into the world and then into our minds. And this is how culture and society is built. So it's really important.
They're more important than people realize, because there were some people complaining that musicians were getting compensation for canceled shows and everything, and it's yeah, who's gonna entertain you if we're all broke? I don't know.
Who's complaining?
There were just people on Facebook. Everyone has to complain about something. It was probably 10 people, but they got a bunch of retweets.
And what was their argument?
We're not we don't pay taxes, I guess. But a lot of
we didn't do the show, so why are we getting paid for it, kind of thing?
Yeah, well, they're not working. We can't even, most of us, apply for unemployment because we're not it's just complicated. I feel every situation's super different. They just don't understand.
Yep.
Let's see. I have had some more questions per se.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you do any multicast streaming?
What does that mean?
Do you when you stream to Twitch, does it stream to a Facebook page or to YouTube Live, or do you just keep it there?
I keep it there because there are technically rules against it, and I don't want to get banned. I have thought about it. However, I want to become a partner with Twitch, and that's the first thing that's if you're a partner, you can't multi-stream. So I'm trying to show them that I'm already the example of what they want, So I've avoided it, but I do see people do it and get away with it. So I don't know.
I looked into it and I never heard anything about that being against. That's interesting. Okay, that's good to know, because I was just going to hop on there and just multi-stream. Now I'm going to think twice about that for sure.
So my other argument to that, and why I would maybe at least research a little more, and maybe even reach out to other streamers that are on multiple platforms and see what they're doing, because maybe it's something that I'm just not tapping into, and I should be. But I would also say each platform is very different. And when I'm streaming on different platforms, I cater to that audience specifically. There's different goals. There's different, with YouTube, I wouldn't be asking them to send bits. Like, it's all very different worlds. So I don't know if that would really serve our audiences anyway.
Good point. Yeah, because it'd kind of be like when you post on Instagram, it goes to your Twitter. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Twitter has live stream now?
No, I'm just saying, like, like when you first set up post, it would go on Twitter and tweet, like, just post it on Instagram. So it's kind of that's not good for Twitter at all. Having that just a link to Instagram. So I feel like I'm just making an analogy in my mind.
Yeah.
It definitely wouldn't fit the audience.
Beard Trollus, I see somebody kind of asked a question. People want to know what technology artists use and that has a monetary value for the equipment maker and the artist. Not exactly sure what that means, but I think you're asking for instance, my interest in Twitch and 4K cameras. You definitely don't need a 4K camera to stream on Twitch. That's for dang sure. I'm not even going to use my 4K camera for streaming on Twitch. I have a smaller Sony that I use now. Let's see. Try to support as much as I can. I love music. Yeah, thanks, Beer. Appreciate it. Like I said, go to YouTube because my video on how to start live streaming, I think will give you a better idea on how to start baseline starter kit for streaming as far as gear goes. And if you have any other questions, you can DM me or Juliana, and we can help you out more.
And I can post that link to that video on my story after this because I did see it. I'm pretty sure. Tried to look into. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'd seen you say that you posted a video about streaming, so I checked out a little bit of it. You just have a lot of good information. I feel like you're just very experienced. You've figured out kind of what works for you. So
I just got lucky and I got here a year before everybody else did. That's all.
That's that. Gotta anticipate. I want to stream music on Twitch, and then I also just like to play video games, so I feel like I'm going to just do that.
You're going to be the perfect streamer. Yeah, do both. That's great.
Yeah, I have Uncharted and I have just a bunch of PlayStation games, and now I just live alone with my cat, so I'll just stay there all night.
You're going to do fantastic, and I'd love to talk to you more specifically, too, about ideas I have for you, how I can help you kind of get your mind in the right place straight out the gate.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think you'd kill.
Thank you. I hope 100%.
So. Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like an amazing platform. It sounds like where I want to be.
Yes. Did you have any other questions? I don't mean to keep getting off topic for you.
I guess we feel like we've covered quite a bit, and a lot of the questions we just kind of naturally covered. I'm looking now.
You're good. Don't mean to put you on the spot. I mean, I could just keep going off on all this stuff, and I didn't want to totally deroute.
Well, actually, it looks like all my questions have been answered. So yeah, if you just want to go off, then we'll do where it takes.
Cool. Let's see. What are your favorite venues to perform in? Are you asking me? Maybe. Oh, I'd say don't downplay sponsorships or your own value as an artist. Yeah. I mean, don't downplay sponsorships. I mean, it's definitely a source of income. So because I know that a lot of content creators balance it, and they're like, okay, so every two videos, I'm gonna have to put one in there that's for a sponsorship, and then the other 2 weeks I can do my own thing. But it's a balance. Favorite places to perform. Well, I went on my first tour this year. And it was a self-booked tour, so I did a lot of smaller coffee shops, bars, venues. Played a lot with So Far Sounds, and I mean, the tour experience has definitely been the best. I wouldn't say my gigs here in LA have been something I'd talk about as far as being my favorite. But I'm sure you can relate. Because did you say you're from here? I didn't know you were from here.
born in Laguna Beach, and then I lived in Orange County till I was 11. So not too long. My dad still lives out there though, so I just go out there a lot. And then I moved to Nashville, but Nashville's kind of the same with LA. Like, I wouldn't say playing in Nashville is my favorite at all, because it's just artists criticizing you, really. And nobody honestly wants to come to your show because they've been invited to 15 that day. And then you don't get paid. They just don't pay you. They're just like, oh, you got exposure. Is that good for you? It's not.
Wow, I did not know that Nashville had such an LA venue mentality. I thought that they were better.
They're better. They'll pay you a little bit in food and like $60 in tips if you want to play covers for 5 hours, and they'll let you play. That's like that's it. For original music, you'll find.
And okay, so then how long have you been there for you? How long have you been experiencing this there?
Yeah, I've been playing actually in Nashville since I was like 12. I started playing in bars. And then in high school, I did a couple, like, I'd get $50 to play for like 5 hours at a bar. But then, so I've been living here for 10 years, experiencing all this. Like, there's writers' rounds, which are cool. I feel like people do them a lot because of this whole promise of getting discovered. Like, oh, you never know who will be here. So, you know.
That sounds like such an LA thing again.
They're just kind of like dangling this fish in front of you. Like, hey, if you play here for free, there might be one person in the audience who could change it.
I hate that mentality. I absolutely hate it because, this year, that's why I created Boss Pod, is because I wanted to talk about this. I didn't just want to talk about the creative process and what our lives are like as creators, but also this balance of like, you can't just wake up and sing and write music. Like, there's this whole business strategy around, I could write the best songs, but if no one freaking hears it, what's it gonna do, So you have to adopt this business mind and this marketing mind that just isn't something you'd expect because everybody tells you somebody's just gonna find you, discover you, and then do all that for you. That's not the case. I learned that the hard way, and I realized that no one's gonna do it for me. No one's gonna come and do it for me, even if I have all the talent in the world, especially nowadays. Like, it's so saturated. Like, there's a million girls like us, around our age that are doing music that's good, that deserve it. Like, there's tons of talented girls that are, and even if they're better songwriters, like, whatever, like, all of us, we all deserve it. And it's just like, nobody's gonna go out on a limb for us. We have to go out on the limb for ourselves and then prove that, like, we have a fan base, we have people that care about us, and then, because they're only about money, and that's not what we're about. So laying a foundation of fans that get you for you, and you find your peeps, that's when people will be like, okay, well, you can attach money to that, sweet, because otherwise you're just an industry plant at that point, and whatever they make you and whatever audience they want you to have is what it's going to be. You don't have a say.
And I feel like that's more how it used to be. Like, someone would discover you and then build you up. But now with this, like, with technology, they expect you to come to the table with basically a brand and a business already running, and they're just like kind of hooking themselves onto you, which is something a lot of people don't understand. And so that's why, like, you wouldn't even want to just randomly get discovered in a bar if you don't have that audience already, because then they're just you have no power in that deal, so you're just going to get screwed over. So you always bring that value. But it's definitely hard, like, as artists, having to just like develop a marketing and business mind, because I feel like growing up, like, I always wanted to do this, and in my mind I never really thought like, oh, I need to learn how to like properly run a business, I need to go set up an LLC and S corp and stuff, and never was prepared for that. And you think you're just gonna like write music and yeah, someone's gonna find you and take you up.
Yep. And I want to talk about that, and that's why I started Boss Pod, and that's why I talk about it on Twitch a lot, because there's time for me to talk in between. I'm not rushed, like, you got 25 minutes and you're off the stage, kid. Like, I've got time to actually talk to my audience for once. So I want to bring that to the forefront, because it really is such a huge part of being an artist that is not talked about enough, because for so many years, you just had to get signed. That was the thing. And it's just not that world anymore. We have to extinguish that pipe dream. And for me, when I meet someone and they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to invest in you, kid, and you're going to be a star. When I hear that now, it's a red flag for me. Seriously. Like, it used to be like, oh my God, stars in my eyes. Well, I got kicked around a little bit too much, and I decided, okay, I think that's a red flag at this point.
Yeah, when someone's like way excited, I'm just like, and then they're using like guarantees. They're like, oh, I'm going to make this happen. Like, you can't. If anybody,
I'll see it when it happens. Cool. I'm going to be doing me over here, keeping my ish going over here, and you let me know if it works out, okay?
I'm like, yeah, sure. I maybe assume that might happen, but I'm not going to like base anything off that. I feel like after you've been like kicked around quite a bit in the industry, no trust. You're just like, these are nice people. I can't trust them with anything yet, which is sad. I feel like music is such a connecting force in the industry.
It is so sad because it makes good, excited, hopeful, inspired people jaded and tough and distrusting. Like, it's so wrong. And I think the main reason why it goes so wrong is there's that pipe dream that everybody puts in our heads. And it's like, that's not the truth. And then when we're let down, our expectations didn't happen, then we're all disappointed forever and we don't know what to do. So I think if we talk about this first, and like the new generation of artists, if they know going in that you're going to have to be a boss and do this yourself and nobody's going to come treat you like a princess and take you to the top, there won't be so many disappointed, mistrusting people in this industry because there's too many of them right now.
I like how you call it boss pod, because yeah, you have to be a boss. You have to be a boss of yourself, boss of people you work with, and like, especially as a woman, they just want to like shove you around. They don't really care about your.
That's not allowed.
With like 4 guys or even 2 guys, they act like they're 4 of them, and they just like don't let you talk. They ask questions and they expect you to answer. Like, oh, how do you feel about that, Juliana? And then they just keep talking, and I'm like. So I just have to like put myself, and I'm not that much of an aggressive person. So I feel like inserting myself over these people, it turns into like, you have to like almost be yelling to try to just get like your one word in. And it's not.
Yeah.
No, I've been in those situations too. And I found some ways to find my power without having to feel like I had to put all of their energy, match their energy to be heard. I think if you stay calm and choose words wisely and are strong in it and be like, actually, can I think about this for a second? Let's talk this through slower, just for a second, if you don't mind, because I just want to make sure that we're moving forward with the vision in mind that we both are eye to eye on, whatever. Like, slow them down. Tell them to match your energy. Like, I'm so over that. I've been in those situations, girl. I feel you so hard. But I was going to say one other thing too, and I don't want to forget because I love these words. My last Boss Pod, I had Fiona Gray on, and she's an artist, total hustler here in Los Angeles too. And she talked about just separating business from personal and how that's so important. And like, before going into a session, hey, sorry, I'm putting on my business cap right now. This is what it is. Is that cool? Because this is what it's going to be. Otherwise, sorry, man, we can be homies, but I can't do that. That's not how I run my business. So it's like putting those things in their minds and coming to an agreement before you go in. Then you don't end up making a song. It's freaking amazing. And then you can't see eye to eye business wise. And what do we do as artists? We're always the one to compromise and be like, all right, fine. I just want to put out the art, and that's not right. We shouldn't be screwed because we made something cool.
Definitely getting the business out of the way first is always so important. And it's all just about like treating yourself like a business, but also like I feel like there's just ways to prove to people before they even like meet you almost that like to be respected. You're just always like trying to prove yourself, I guess, per se, which at the same time isn't even a bad thing because we're always always trying to prove ourselves. We're trying to prove ourselves even if we're playing a show in front of a bunch of people we don't know. We're trying to prove to them, like, why you should stand here and watch me play. And, like, so.
And it sucks because when women are assertive, we're called the B word. We're called a diva. We're called difficult. You know what I mean? And it's like, maybe I'm just putting my foot down and maybe my tone of voice is a little bit higher than yours, but you talk like a D to me all the time. So, you know, like, I could put a word on your assertiveness as well, sir.
I definitely feel that. Or they're like like you're trying to put your foot down and they like they start calling you little lady and honey, and I'm just like, what? What did you just say?
My blood boils for you, girl.
I feel like in the South they just like to call you honey regardless. They're, oh, honey, like, no.
And that's why it's kind of interesting, because I've had my own journey and path of learning all of this, and it was messy. It wasn't easy to figure out, and it wasn't like a clean transition figuring it out. But I have found a little bit more of like, I kind of treat a lot of the people that I do business with kind of like the bros. Like, yeah, man, whatever, it's cool. You know, like, you do you, I'm gonna do me. Let's figure this out. It's done, you know? Like, whatever, man. Cool, bro, whatever. Like, I'll talk their language so that they know I'm not a woman that they can mess around with. And it's sad that we have to put something on, but sometimes men need to be, you have to, you know, choose the words and choose the tone, play it up for them a little bit so that they get the picture, because there has been way too much women suppression in this world, and just the guy takes the lead, the guy is the one in charge, and that's the end of story. And that's not what it is anymore.
I do like what with social media and stuff, like, girls can be more empowered, and like we own our own music, and like we can stream on Twitch if we want to. We can say whatever we want. So that is such a great part about social media, as female artists were able to be like
in charge. Yeah.
Exactly.
Guys are usually lacking in that area, right? They're like, oh, filter? What the...
We're bored for this. Like,
he's like, what's my angle? He's like this, you know?
We're putting it in filter things. I'm like, yeah, I designed this, thank you. I also feel like you found like your voice in these like conversations with certain people and like owning yourself, because it was a hard process. I feel like I'm finally in a place where I feel like in control and like I know how to present myself. It's kind of immediate. You'll listen to what I say. Like,
happy to hear it. And I'm here for you as another woman boss. I'm here to help you anything you need. Like, I think it's coming together and putting artist appreciation first, and us artists coming together, and when we do, it's louder, you know? So all of us can have this tone and come in at it in this new way. And I think awareness is just really important for other artists so that they don't get their heads on wrong, you know, with it.
Whenever I meet like a new artist and stuff, you meet artists all the time in Nashville, I always try to like, if they seem to have that whole pipe dream kind of like, oh, someone's just gonna, you know, just take me up to the top. I don't try to shatter the dream, but I do try to like realistically eventually like wedge it in there. Like, what's your plan though? Like, how are you gonna take you to the top? Because nobody else is going to.
I love that. No, you got to help us little bushy-eyed or big-eyed, bushy-tailed artists out. You got to help them out.
Like, that's not what's going to happen here. There's no one driving this train. You have to go learn how to do it.
Do you enjoy the business side of things? Do you find that that's you?
I actually do, because I'm very like left-brained and right-brained. I'm actually like split down the middle. So I do enjoy I love making a plan. I love plans. So I feel like I like being in control of it. It wasn't always my forte, and maybe necessarily like setting up royalties and like my my incorporation and stuff and getting insurance, maybe all of that isn't my favorite. Like setting up a marketing plan and everything, I do enjoy. I like being involved with that. What about you?
Just to piggyback on that, not to discredit men, because this is getting a very feminist conversation, and I don't mean for it to be, because men are awesome too, but we're two women talking, relating, okay? That's just setting the record straight. Yeah, because men are fantastic too, and there's amazing guy artists out there that are doing it all. But I do feel that there's something with women, we do have that ability to switch. Because what's the job of being a mom? You know, you got to be catering and loving and nurturing and emotional. And you got to come and love your husband when he comes home. But then what are you doing behind the scenes? You're bossing it out, like not sleeping, doing all this work. And it's like, I think biologically we're able to switch through that a little bit easier. So using that to our advantage is great. And I'm so happy to hear that you enjoy it too.
Yeah. I feel like compartmentalization is actually like something that's something every artist should be good at, but that's something I luckily inherently I kind of do. That's what my therapist said.
Right.
So I feel like that's great, not only for like being on stage. If you're having a bad day, you can get up there and be like, "Oh, what's up, New York? How you doing?" But then also just in business, being able to separate, like, because it's also your babies that you're dealing with, like your songs. So I feel like it gets so emotionally charged when it's like you feel like somebody is messing with your vision and like your life. Like as an artist, I feel like our whole life is kind of attributed to our music, and we find a hard time to like find worth in ourselves kind of separately. So I feel like
it's our baby, no pun intended, but
what? Trying to find. So I do like being able to separate it, which I would agree is probably definitely a female attribute, being able to kind of put things in two different sides.
We just need to know to do that, because there's a lot of artists that don't understand that you really just have to be business and not, it's just zero emotion, and we don't know that we have to access that, so it gets messy. And I mean, it's a messy thing if you think about it, because we're sitting in a room basically in a therapy session spilling our guts out into a work of art. Like, this is an emotional thing, so that's why it has to be so cut and dry. Like, we're dealing with business before, and then now we're not, you know, so.
Like, I'm crying.
Yeah.
Going from, like, you're going to do what I say to, like, I just don't understand, like, trying to write.
He broke up with me, guys. Let's write about it.
Barely know, and we're like, let's like share and just emotionally gut ourselves and make something together, which is also beautiful because you grow with those people so quick when you're like, hey, I've been traumatized, I want to write about it, because you have to tell them everything, which I always think is so crazy, because you can't write a song with someone and only tell them like 5 details. You kind of have to unearth yourself, which is
when you have trust issues on the business side, it can be tough. That's why you got to set it before, because it's tough, and that's actually something that I have found a lot of struggle with, is finding people that I can access the deepest parts of myself that I like to share in my music with. I haven't worked with a lot of people because just the quote unquote vibes weren't there, or the business wasn't there. So that's why I've kind of reverted to learning how to do a lot of things myself. You know, it's like sad that like there's not more people that, you know, can click with me at that level. I'm sure they're out there, but it's like at the end of the day, I know I have me. I don't have to schedule a session with me. So if I learn how to do more, then I know that I can access that stuff. And if I can articulate it and the tools that I can build to be able to execute it and make final product, I'm alluding to, I'm learning to produce. And this next song, one more plug before the end of the hour, my next song called By Myself comes out this Friday. If you want to support artists like us DIYing it out, I have a link in my bio on my Instagram for you to go pre-save it on Spotify, because that does really make a difference.
It does, the algorithm. And I'm dropping a remix on the
algorithm. Oh.
That's apparently my favorite word today.
I guess so.
It helps, period. Also coming out with a song on the 22nd. I didn't produce it, but yeah, it's a remix of my song Dangerous. It's a dubstep remix because I'm EDM, so I thought, why not? But that's awesome you're producing. I'll post a link actually to that on my story after this. I produced hold music the other day for a company, so I'm learning how to produce just in like.
That's so cool. Oh my God. We need some good hold music up in here because I am tired of listening to Beethoven, Fleur-Elise every single time I call Warner.
But that's something that we're both like kind of trying to. I feel like you have to be multifaceted and learn production and marketing and business, and we're going to be well-rounded by the end of this. There's never an end. It's just music till I die.
And one more plug, I'm going to let you do the outro, but one more plug, I am doing my podcast and my little Instagram live thing tomorrow, Sunday. It's 11 a.m. Pacific time. It's called Boss Pod, and I have conversations with creatives. Very similar to this. I have 2 guests tomorrow who are artists that are self-producing, which I wanted to get into the mind of that since in honor of the song coming out that I self-produced. So that's what tomorrow's going to be.
Sounds awesome, and thank you. I'm going to tune into that, and I appreciate you coming on my show today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Guest here. I'm sure we'll be in touch. I'd love to talk to you more about streaming. So
yeah, no, let's FaceTime soon, and I want to help you with the streaming thing too and get going on Twitch.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Have a good rest of your Saturday. I almost said Sunday. Saturday.
You too. Bye.
Bye.